Well, how you doing, boot campers? Uh, Here's hoping to find that you're still remaining proactive. It's been a few weeks here now, and a lot of times after a little bit of time passes, the old habits begin to creep up, and the excitement begins to wear off, and the newness of it begins to wear off, and that's really where the rubber meets the road. And so hopefully we're finding you all still doing well and fighting on and remaining alert to the hidden things that are happening behind the scenes to our food supply. Um, I hear that this week is on grains and carbs. I mean, it's almost a repeat of many of the other things that we've talked about. Most of our food supply is suffering from the same premise, the love of money. And when you talk about carbs, you deal with a lot of the instances in the industry that wants shelf life, and then you got to deal with all the advertising appeals to the different fads. I mean, the good fat, bad fat, the no fat diets, the no carb diets. The Atkins diet is basically a no carb diet, the South Beach diet, and they put you through all these strenuous activities, and the reality of it is you have to have carbs. I mean, think about the Atkins diet. Let's just shove a bunch of shove a bunch of meat into your body that has no fiber, that nutritionally, even the protein is very difficult for your body to break down, and then don't have any carbs at all. And then what happens is people go into what's called ketosis because your brain needs carbs. And without carbs, you'll eventually die. Matter of fact, I know of some personal friends who went on the Atkins diet and they keeled over of a heart attack. So these fads you got to be very careful of, and you got to educate yourself. And so there are bad carbs and there are good carbs, and bad grains and good grains. I mean, some of the most beneficial grains, you have the quinoa, and you have the spelt, and you have, I mean, wheat has got the gluten, so a lot of people have the gluten problems, but wheat is one of the most profitable grains out there. Oats, you, you, you just got to educate yourself on it like normal. You can't just lay back and let somebody spoon feed you information, and then you just take it without looking into it. Like I said in the last few clips, I'm sure I've said it more than once, and I'll probably say it again, is that it's sad that we've come to this place where you almost have to be a rocket scientist to understand your food that you're eating. Uh, but back to the grains again. Carbs, you need them in your life. Carbs and grains almost go hand in hand when you're talking about carbohydrates. You don't need as much as the grain in your diet as you do like the fruits and vegetables, obviously, but it's good to have some. Uh, like I said, with the process, what they've done to give that grain shelf life is they've stripped it of its germ, they've stripped it of its bran, and then isn't it amazing? Then they sell the wheat germ back to you in a jar, or the oat bran back to you after they've pulverized the original grain in its wholeness. So when they strip the grain of the bran and the germ, and then they pound it into a flour, they grind it into a flour. Well, they take the germ off because they don't want all that stuff clogging up their wheels. It slows the process down. And then they take that grain now and beat the fire out of it. They bleach it, and then they add some coal tar extracts to it to make it a enriched grain. And they and that helps give it shelf life, and it doesn't putrefy so easily after they have Frankensteinized it, or Kevorkianed it, and then they get it on the shelf there, and it allows it to remain there so that we can buy it. The problem with grains like that is they're simple carb, and they break down too easily, and they go into your bloodstream too quickly. And the next thing you know, you have your insulin problems and your obesity problems because your bloodstream can't handle that sugar hitting it so quickly, and it's got to turn it into fat. So the grain in its wholeness with the germ and the bran on it will break down slower. So when you get a 100% grain product, it's going to break down slower, and it's going to metabolize the way that it was intended to metabolize. The sugars are going to break down in a slower way and then enter your body. I tried to eat nothing but 100% whole grain type products. Matter of fact, I found a really good spelt hot cereal. I like oatmeals and different things like that. So in the mornings before exercise, I've been eating a spelt hot cereal with some maple syrup on it and some coconut almond milk. So there are definite things that you can do. You can get spelt pastas. You can get quinoa pastas. You can get quinoa cereals. Just a myriad of things. But and yet it's going to cost a little bit more. But at the same time, in the long run, what are you going to pay? Your health. As they say, a man will spend his health seeking after wealth, and then in the end he's going to spend his wealth to try to get his health back. So good grains, bad grains. Good grains, whole grain. That's what you're looking for. Bad grains, the ones that have been adulterated, stripped of everything, devoid of its nutrients, which is in the bran and the germ. That's where most of the nutrients are. And then it's pulverized and fed to us. Good carb is a whole grain carb. It's going to break down slow. It's going to enter the bloodstream slow. Just quit following after these fads. No fat, no carb, all these fads. Think balance. Think even, moderation, And I think that's it for this week. I hope it helps out, and I hope that everyone is doing well. I just tip my hat to you, even though I don't have a hat on. But y'all have a great day, great evening here, and stay proactive. Because remember, it's unprofitable for you to be healthy. And it's a lifestyle, not an attitude. Have a good evening, everyone.